This brings us to item number 17, ordinance number 3, series of 2013, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Glendale, Colorado, repealing section 9.32.060, the prohibition on assault weapons, recognizing the infinite wisdom of the Bill of Rights and the declaring of an emergency, and that has to do with the transfer of those weapons, not the ownership. Correct, Mr. Lyons?
Transfer and sale.
Chief Haskins, our police officers have been asking for this repeal for some time. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Thank you. Because presently you would be committing a misdemeanor if you were to transfer that weapon to another police officer.
That is correct, sir.
So I know this is a contentious issue. Mayor Pro Tem Bobo.
The comments that I would like to make tonight are based on the two leading Supreme Court cases that regard the Second Amendment. The first is called the District of Columbia versus Heller from 2008. The second is called United States versus Miller. It's a case from 1939. And I believe that appropriate regulations under the Second Amendment, such as prohibiting sales to people who are found to be mentally ill, also don't destroy the nature of the Second Amendment in general. In speaking with Mayor Dunafon, he did enlighten me to the fact that the term assault weapon is actually kind of a misnomer. There are tons of other weapons out there that are not banned. They're not assault weapons. They're considered semi-automatic with a large capacity magazine. In fact, that's what Adam Lanza used in Sandy Hook. He used a Bushmaster 223, which isn't considered an assault weapon. I'm aware that assault weapons and weapons that can load, that have large capacity magazines are not responsible for most of the gun deaths. I have done my homework on this after our discussion last night, and handguns are certainly a large portion of gun deaths in the U.S. according to the FBI statistics. But I don't believe that opening the door here in Glendale to allow the transfer or the sale of automatic weapons is going to help. I would certainly support adding an exception to our current ordinance to allow the transfer or sale of these weapons between police officers, because I do believe that our police officers have been professionally trained in handling what I consider to be these dangerous and unusual weapons. And so for these reasons, I will not be supporting the repeal of this ordinance tonight.
Thank you. Well researched. I would amend the use of the term automatic weapon. These are not automatic weapons. In fact, that requires a federal firearms license. And Heller, in Scalia admitting that it was vastly handguns that caused the problem, the idea that we could be scared into relinquishing any one of the enumerated rights in the Constitution is something that concerns me deeply. When we give little pieces and portions of our liberties away for the purpose of little pieces of supposed security, we go down a very slippery slope until one day we find ourselves with no liberties. By and large, this is a symbolic gesture on the part of a very forward-thinking city to relinquish a law that nobody knows was on the books for a period of 3 weeks, to make the statement that the enumerated rights in the Constitution cannot be separated. If I support gay marriage, I can't all of a sudden decide I like the support of gay marriage, but I do not want you owning a hunting rifle or a pistol. These issues are of vital importance to us today because we are not being told the truth, much like our conversation yesterday regarding assault weapons. The city of Chicago had 807 murders last year. It's almost identical to the city of Houston. Houston had 204 murders. Houston has 1,800 gun stores and very few gun-free zones. Most of the murders in Chicago occurred in gun-free zones. This is a symbolic gesture on the part of the city, should we vote to do so, to take the same stand that we've taken on gay marriage. We're pro-gay marriage. We're pro-64, the marijuana amendment. Why should we have a war on drugs? We believe that the homeless issue is an issue about someone's willingness to work or not work. And I agree with what you're saying about the issues associated with mental illness and guns. That is the real issue. It's not transfer of weapons or gun ownership. We don't often think about the fact that we have almost 300 million guns in this country and so few murders. Since 2007 to today, gun deaths are down 62%. If you watch the mass media, you would swear that they're up, and they're not up. It's an encroachment on our rights, and we have got to take a stand to try to stop that encroachment. We either stand for liberty or we don't stand for liberty. I know you do. I'm not laying that on you, and I respect your opinion very much. So further comments from the... Ms. Soffer, please.
My point of view is that I do feel this is a something of a I want to use the word partisan issue, insofar as I don't. This, you know, the city government of Glendale is a nonpartisan body, and I feel that this is, to me, more of a partisan issue, and I don't feel it's appropriate to be raised in this forum. So on that basis, I'm going to I won't be able to support this.
Thank you very much for that opinion. I would remind this council that we swore an oath to the United States Constitution, and that is indeed not a partisan issue. So thank you. So Chair will entertain a motion.
I have a motion. A motion to approve ordinance number 3, series of 2013, an ordinance of the City of Council of the City of Glendale, Colorado, repealing section 9.32.060, the prohibition on assault weapons, recognizing the infinite wisdom of the Bill of Rights and declaring an emergency.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
It passes 4-2. And thank you very much for the dissenting opinions. And it shows that this is a deliberative body.